Now with 100% more ducks. Howdy folks, Grok the DuckFarmer here, and let's talk about blood magic altars. I've had the question several times of, what's the best animal or mob to feed your blood magic with, and I am here to tell you the definitive answer. It depends. Yeah, kind of a cheap answer, but it really depends on what do you want, and how do you want to use that blood. So, for example, let's take a look at this altar right here. Any self-respecting blood magic altar needs to be made out of blocks of mana diamond, of course. But if you don't and you use something else, well, that's just fine too. And when I say it depends, is how you get your blood. In this case, if you're sacrificing animals or mobs or whatnot, then there's different amounts of blood that come when you do the sacrifice. So that was a chicken, and the chicken gave me 250, and that's all there is. Now if you use something else like a villager and you sacrifice them, hey Frank, bye Frank, then you get 2,000, which is the best of all the things that you could use for sacrificing. Now, as far as other things like witches, they have more health than villagers or the chickens, but they're not going to provide as much, 500. All the, well, not all, but many of the hostile mobs will give you 500. Let's see, other example that's strange, Enderman. I would figure 500, it's a hostile mob, right? No, 200. How about something with a huge amount of health, like an Iron Golem? Hello, Iron Golem. Goodbye, Iron Golem. Yeah, what do you think? 500, that's all it is. Or what about something that has 200 hit points? The Ent from Witchery. Yep, well, same situation, it's going to give you 500. So your passive mobs are down in the 250 range, that's where you get your chicken. Some of the mobs are going to be 200, like the Enderman, which is really strange. The villager, here, if you're sacrificing, the villager's the way to go. That's 2,000 every time. Wow, lots of blood. But if you're not sacrificing your mobs, if instead you are using the Well of Suffering, then what's the best mob for that? Well, let's go over here to a blood altar with the Well of Suffering in it. And any well-respecting blood altar that is using the Well of Suffering has to be made out of ruby blocks. That just goes without saying. Let's come over here and let's remove everything that's in this. And in this case, the best mob is one that has the most health. So our little chicken friend, hello chicken friend, he's got 2 hearts there. That's not going to produce a lot. That's 40 because it's 20 per heart. Let's take a look at something that's a little bit more than that. The villager was 2,000 when sacrificing, but because of his hearts, he's only going to produce a smaller amount. In fact, if we take a quick look, there's 20 hearts there, 20 LP, 10 per heart. Let's go ahead and suck that back out. Let's skip witches for now and go to Enderman. They have a lot more health. They have 40 hearts, and so, or 40 HP, that's 20 hearts, and so that will produce a lot more health, which is not bad. Plus they do that fancy little jiggly animation as they're taking damage because, suffer. And they give you a good amount. If we take a look, 400. Well, that's a good amount. What about the Iron Golem and the Ent? Well, because of their hit points, they're going to produce a whole lot more. The Iron Golem is 1,000 and the Ent will produce 2,000 XP each. So if you can produce them in good amounts, those are pretty good ones to use. But probably the easiest and the best one to use is the Witch. Because, yes, it's got less hearts than the Enderman, but the Witch will heal itself. In fact, you can see it occasionally there, all of a sudden the hearts tick back up. And so as the Witch keeps drinking the potions, and you can see the potion there, yep, there's a potion. As the Witch keeps drinking potions to heal up, they donate more blood to the altar. And so that makes them a fantastic mob for the Well of Suffering, because they keep healing themselves. So, Of all the mobs that are good for the Well of Suffering, I like witches best because of the amount they spawn off. Let's see, this one did 700, which is frankly kind of low. That makes 11 that I've tried, and the average of the first 10 was about 970 LP for each one of the witches. The lowest that I saw was 620. The highest was 1400. So it depends on how often they suck on the potions to clear that out. The other consideration as far as here and the Well of Suffering with the Blood Magic Altar, what drops they will produce. The mob that you spawn in here will produce some drops, and if you really want the witch drops, for example, glowstone, redstone, sticks, precious sticks, all the other things, those are great if you need iron, and you can spawn off iron golems, those are great. Enderman, you get the ender pearls and the dimlets, those are fantastic. Villagers, you get occasionally a gold coin, it depends on whether or not Thaumcraft is involved, but that gives you a clue as to what you can do. Sacrifice seems to be the villagers the best. The Well of Suffering, I really like witches. But it depends a lot on what you want by way of results from there as far as getting good stuff from their drops. And let's switch out a Rune of Sacrifice. So let's go ahead and let's do it down here so I don't lose a lot. Boom. Stick the Rune of Sacrifice in place, and that should improve the amount that they give off. And let's do the villager again. Hello, Frank. And the last time we did him, he produced 200 life points for the Well of Suffering. If we take a quick look now, it's 220. So that gave a little bit better. But as you make lots and lots and lots and lots of these Runes of Sacrifice, then you will get a much better result from the Well of Suffering. So there you go. Yep. An exploration of what you can do as far as blood magic and altars. And what's the best mob? Well, it depends. If you're sacrificing them, go with villagers. If you are using the Well of Suffering, I like witches. But it kind of depends on whatever you can get lots of, because that's more important than anything else. And their drops are nice too. Anyway, this has been Grok the DuckFarmer here. Thanks for watching. Bye! Of course, lots and lots of ents can be quite funny.